Welcome to the deep dive. You've brought us, a stack of sources today, and we're plunging into what might be one of the most unique syntheses of philosophy and mathematics we've ever seen.
It really is.
We're dissecting this philosophical poem, this manifesto titled The Watchers and the Power of Nine. It's by the Reverend Point Blank, who also goes by the Witicizer of comedy.
I am a watcher in the power of the nine. You may not understand the power of nine if you don't take the time to calculate it in your mind. Every number times nine comes back nine. In the hustle of our thoughts, a silent truth is found. Not the voice that shouts, but the one who stands with truthful sounds. Some people are drowning in the storms and don't even know they're wet. Stuck in cycles so deep, the sunlight ain't even risen yet. Your mind can be the storm of endless swirling noise, and yet you are the sky beyond these fleeting toys. Thoughts like traffic, they rush and race by, but you are the witness, the vastness of the open sky. Emotions rise and fall like waves upon the shore, but you are the ocean that flows forevermore. The mystics knew the power of the silence of the watchers that watched your mind. In stillness, the clarity and peace they would always find. From Buddha to Jesus, from Krishna to Leo too, they saw beyond the mind and let their spirits renew. In the quiet, the true power is always revealed, not in controlling the world, but in how you are healed. For when you become the watcher, the observer of it all, your spirit rises up and you begin to stand tall. So let your mind chatter and let it have its say, but you remain still and let your spirit lead the way. In that space of calm, your true power lies. In stillness and awareness, the soul truly flies. So please don't forget, this life can truly be found by mastering the truth of the cosmic number nine. The end is the beginning, and that's not a fine line. Nothing moves on this planet that's not governed by the nine. Point blank, enjoy your time.
It's an extraordinary piece, because it blends these profound spiritual claims, a governing mathematical principle, and this intensely personal ethos. It's all rooted in his own experience.
Right. So our mission today is really to cut through the poetic language, the unconventional formatting.
And just get to the core of it.
Yeah, to give you the key insights this writer offers about self-mastery, the nature of reality, and I guess how to use the time you're actually given.
And we have to start with his foundation, his personal philosophy of success.
We absolutely have to. He makes it so clear that his journey was guided by, internal metrics, not external ones. He says it explicitly. He never sought money, power, or position.
That's such a critical distinction. In a world that's so obsessed with external validation, wealth, status, he just went the other way.
Completely.
His focus, as he states it, was internal. He sought his gifts and position in life. And this path, it's not about climbing some conventional ladder. It's about self-discovery.
And it had a real tangible result. He describes it perfectly. This internal focus took him to places I'd never thought I'd go.
It's sort of an accidental path to success.
Yeah, exactly. By focusing on his own unique gifts, he finds himself in these unexpected positions. Writer, producer, director.
And that whole framework, that idea that chasing your gifts leads to this unexpected, fulfilling success, that's the lens for everything else in the text. It grounds all the cosmic claims in a very practical, personal quest for meaning.
Which I think leads us perfectly to the very first lesson he anchors his whole philosophy on. And it's surprisingly simple.
Time.
Simple
but devastatingly true. He doesn't pull any punches. He calls time the one thing more valuable than anything you could ever desire.
And for anyone listening, let's just clarify that phrasing. He's saying time is the one thing more valuable than anything you could desire.
Yes, it's an absolute hierarchy of value. Nothing is higher.
And it really forces a stark comparison, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We spend our lives chasing things we hope will make us happy, more money, whatever. But those things, and even tomorrow itself, they're not guaranteed.
That's his core reality. He stresses, you are not guaranteed any time, only this moment.
That phrase, only this moment, it just transforms the whole thing from a philosophical idea into like an immediate instruction manual.
It really does. It strips away all procrastination, all assumption. The author forces you to confront the immediate scarcity, the pricelessness of the present.
But I wonder, is that a little too fatalistic? I mean, if we truly believe we're only guaranteed this exact moment, how does that motivate us to build or plan for anything long term? Doesn't that sort of undermine ambition?
That's a great question, a necessary one. And I think he addresses it by immediately transitioning from that observation to a call to action. He doesn't let you linger in that fear of scarcity.
Okay.
He asks, so what will you do with this priceless, time-precious moment? The point isn't that planning is pointless. The point is that action has to be rooted in the now, because the now is the only place action can ever happen.
That makes
It's
sense.
a fundamental rule he lives by.
So the urgency of the present becomes the engine for realizing those internal gifts and position. Okay, let's unpack this.
Okay.
Because then Reverend Point Blank makes this massive jump from the personal scarce resource of time to the cosmic reliable structure of math, right there in the title.
The power of 9.
Yep.
And this is where the material gets really, really unique. If time is fleeting, where do you find stability? He finds it in a universal constant, the number 9. He says it outright. You may not understand the power of the 9.
And then he gives everyone the calculation to test it for themselves. He tells you to take the time and calculate in your mind. Every number times 9 comes back 9. And again, just for clarity, means calculating your mind.
Right, and this is a direct reference to a really profound mathematical curiosity. It's called the digital root. So for anyone listening, let's just walk through his claim.
Please.
You take any whole number, you multiply it by 9, and then you reduce that product down to a single digit just by continually adding the digits together.
Okay.
That final single digit, the digital root, will always be 9.
Give us an example. That'll really ground the concept for us.
Sure, let's take an easy one, like the number 4. 4 times 9 is 36.
36.
Now you add the digits of the product. 3 plus 6.
It's 9. Okay, that holds true. What about a bigger one?
Let's try 12. 12 times 9 is 108.
108.
Add the digits. 1 plus 0 plus 8, and the result is 9.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter how big the number is, it always works. You just keep summing the digits until you get to 1, and it will be 9.
So it's an inherent cyclical property of the number 9, a constant in our numerical system. And he's using this predictability, this reliability as proof of a higher order.
Absolutely. For him, this isn't just a party trick. It's the signature of the cosmos. It leads him to claim, you live in this grand design, you see, I understand it, so I made it mine.
So the reliable, predictable cycle of the 9 is his key to decoding existence.
That's it.
That's a huge claim, though. He's arguing this pattern isn't just arbitrary, it's an active governing force. He connects it to the movement of life itself, saying, nothing moves on this planet that's not governed by the 9.
And again, he means governed by the 9.
Right.
He frames it as a fundamental principle of creation, like gravity. And if you accept that the cosmos is that orderly, that predictable, there's an immense comfort in that. It means while your personal time is fleeting, the structure you exist in is reliable.
That's the bridge we needed. The search for a reliable structure. So the pressure of limited time drives this search for an external eternal truth, and he finds it in the power of 9.
Exactly. And once you acknowledge that grand design, the path then turns inward. How do you navigate this predictable universe with your precious limited moments?
Which takes us from the cosmic, the number 9, to the internal, and the central metaphor for self-mastery, the watcher.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the text pivots right into mindfulness, but in a very grounded way. The first insight is that truth isn't loud. It's found in the quiet, silent voice with truthful sounds, not, as he says, the voice that shouts.
And that shouting voice is the noise of the unprepared mind. He uses this incredibly vivid language to illustrate how many of us are just living without any awareness of our own thoughts.
He says people are drowning in the storm and don't even know they're wet. That imagery is so striking. What does that look like in real life? What's the modern version of being wet without knowing it?
Oh, I think it's the endless scrolling, the constant reactivity, the The immediate jump to defensiveness in a minor disagreement, it's living on autopilot, reacting to old, unexamined programming.
That was the storm.
That is the storm. They're being tossed around by their internal weather, totally unaware that the rain is coming from their own minds, not from the world outside.
And he emphasizes the cyclical nature of it, too. He describes people stuck in cycles so deep the sunlight ain't even risen yet. That Groundhog Day feeling.
Yeah.
That's the problem the Watcher is designed to solve.
And to solve it, he has to redefine your identity. He has to separate you, the eternal self, from it, the temporary mental noise. And he uses these beautiful nature analogies to draw that line.
The mind, he says, is a storm of endless, swirling noise. It's chaotic, always moving. And our thoughts are just like traffic. They rush and race on by.
They're events passing through us, but they aren't us. And this framework applies just as much to our emotions. He says emotions rise and fall like waves upon the shore.
So if you identify as the wave, you're constantly crashing.
Constantly. But if you identify as the shore, you just remain firm. You observe the fluctuation.
So the crucial philosophical shift here, the definition of the Watcher, is the counterpoint to all that motion. You are not the storm. You are not the traffic.
Precisely. You, the listener, you're the backdrop of permanence for all that fleeting noise. You are the sky beyond these fleeting toys, the witness, and the ocean that flows forevermore. The Watcher is simply that vast, unmoving awareness that observes the turbulence of the mind without being dragged into it.
And that transformation, from being a passenger in the traffic to being the sky above it, that's where the power shift happens. The author is very clear about the result of this detachment.
Yes, he ties this mindfulness directly to internal strength and to healing. He says, "For when you become the Watcher, the observer of it all, your spirit rises up and you begin to stand tall."
It's a tangible spiritual elevation, not just some abstract piece.
Right.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. He drives home the point that this strength isn't aggressive. The true power is always revealed in the quiet. It's not in controlling the world, but in how you're healed.
I appreciate that emphasis so much. It takes the typical idea of mastery and turns it completely inward. You master the self for personal healing, not for external domination.
It's the highest form of self-preservation.
It is. It gives you the detachment to let the storm run its course without causing damage.
And to give this whole concept some historical weight, he positions this practice not as some new idea, but as the secret wisdom of the ages.
He does. He contextualizes the Watcher within millennia of spiritual thought. He explicitly states that from Buddha to Jesus, from Krishna to Lao Tzu, they all saw beyond the mind and let their spirits renew. He's basically saying this principle of internal observation is the common thread among the great spiritual teachers.
So after this huge philosophical journey, the final practical instruction for the listener is actually quite simple and actionable.
And compassionate.
Yes. So let the mind chatter, let it have its say, but you remain still and let your spirit lead the way.
And this lets us finally merge the two massive themes of this deep dive.
The Watcher and the Nine.
Exactly. The highest state where the soul truly flies is found in stillness and awareness. This mastery of the inner chaotic self, combined with recognizing the outer predictable cosmic number 9, that's what allows life to truly be fine.
It's the ultimate synthesis. Stability comes from recognizing the universal order, the 9, while you master the internal chaos, the Watcher. It leads to what he calls the end of the beginning.
The end of the beginning. It's that moment you stop being wet and realize you can watch the storm from the sky. It's the end of unconscious living.
And the true start of intentional action. So what does this all mean? The Reverend Point Blank's manifesto gives us this really potent roadmap. It's built on 3 pillars. Time is your most valuable, scarce asset. The number 9 represents a clear, observable cosmic order. And the path to mastery is becoming the silent watcher of your own mind.
It's a complete guide for structuring your inner life to match the perceived order of the outer world. And if we carry forward those 2 anchors, the clear cosmic design and the pricelessness of this present moment, we land on a provocative thought for you, the listener.
Which is?
If the present moment is the only guaranteed time you have, and the properties of 9 reliably govern the reality you inhabit, how might consciously calculating and recognizing that power of 9 in your own mind change how you use this present priceless moment? Does recognizing that fundamental, reliable order make your moment feel more intentional, less chaotic, maybe more powerful?
A wonderful challenge to apply both lessons at the same time, the cosmic and the internal.
Indeed.
Point blank, enjoy your time.